सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरन्तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So we are looking at the 477th shloka. 476, I think, yeah. So last just a correction before we move on. In the last recap, last patha, after a break, I said that the Shishya went into solitude like the one in Kenopanishad, and then he is narrating his own experience, his own Swanubhuti. But then I jumped the gun here. Really, it is not Shishya's experience yet. It is coming up, and then I also clarified that since I had read ahead a week back, week or 10 days back, before we took a break, I may have jumped ahead. So it's coming up soon. So it is still the Guru who is summing up the teaching after talking about the Shruti as Pramana, all this, the Anubhuti also as Pramana. Now he is summing up the teaching. In 476 shloka he said, Bandho mokshasya truptischa chintarogya kshudadayah svenaiva vidya yajnanam paresham anumanikam. Just like trupti, chinta, arogya, all this are known only by oneself. Others cannot know, others can infer, but they cannot know. Similarly is this bandha moksha also you alone know. There is no one else to find out whether you are really a Jivan Mukta, and thereby Shruti also uses indirect means. It uses indirect means to let you have Swanubhuti. Indirect means in the sense it uses Anumana. Shruti is the direct means, Shabda is the direct means, but direct means, the word, the Shabda also uses Anumanika Shabdas to drive home the point, because Buddhi has a lot of questions. The Buddhi does not let, the Vasanas do not let the Buddhi to function in such a manner that the easiest way is clearly understood. Easiest way also, that Tattvamasi, it is just a simple Mahavakya. Really, it is just 3 words. But then it is so complex, it takes lives to understand it, because Vasanas do not let the Buddhi to function clearly, does not allow the Buddhi to function in a straightforward manner. Thereby, a lot of teaching, lot of indirect means are also used by the Shruti, Anumana, so that one lands on Swatasiddha Atma, which the Shruti cannot teach beyond. It can only show you indirectly, in the sense, with the implied meaning. Although Shruti is the direct means, it can only point to that through implied meaning. There is no Vachyartha possible for Brahmatma. It works in the Neti way. Therefore, it may appear Paroksha unless it becomes Aparoksha. So we'll see that more when the shloka comes up. In 477 shloka in continuation, Bhagavad Padacharya says, तटस्थिता बोधयन्ति गुरवः तटस्थिता बोधयन्ति गुरवः श्रुतय यथा प्रज्ञैव तरेद्विद्वान् ईश्वर अनुगृहीतया. So earlier it was a anubhava is also pramana. What kind of anubhava? Vidvad anubhava. Once the jnani has sakshatkara, his anubhava becomes a pramana, but only that which is in keeping with the shruti, the teaching of the sampradaya acharya that was said earlier. Now it is said that tatastita bodhayanti. However, the shruti cannot have experience on your behalf. The shishya has to have experience on his own. Experience in the sense sakshatkara, not objectifiable experience, because it is you. Shruti can only tell you who you really are. Shruti can make you understand through indirect means such as anumana, but she herself cannot realize on our behalf. We have to realize on our own. Thereby tatastita bodhayanti, remaining on the tata, remaining on the banks, just like on the banks of the river, someone guides. You do this, you do that. Imagine a person wants to swim. So the student who wants to swim, the teacher is sitting on the banks, he cannot swim on your behalf. Or if it is a one-man boat, can't take the second man in, then to row, tatasthita, remaining on the banks, the teacher can tell you how to row, but cannot row on your behalf. You have to learn on your own finally. So similarly here, tatasthita bodhayanti guravaha, all the gurus of the teachings and shrutis also, all the mantras also, yatha tatasthita, they remaining on the banks, they teach. They can't do it on your behalf. Prajna eva tared vidwan, and your own sakshatkara, through your own buddhi, avagati paryantam jnanam. That jnana, the teaching itself is still avagati paryantam. Till you get it, the shruti keeps on teaching, the guru keeps on teaching, then vedaha avedaha bhavati. Vedo avedaha bhavati. Veda does not remain Veda anymore because it is pramana only thus far. After you have realized Veda is also in the realm of mithya, your bandha was in the realm of mithya, the moksha is also in the realm of mithya, what you are is the only sadvastu, only reality. So prajna eva, swaprajna eva, prajna means through one's own prajna alone, vidwan taret, one should cross over the samsara sagara Ishwaranugrihitaya, and it is not possible without Ishwaranugraha. So Ishwaranugraha has to be tapped. You have to earn through Karmakanda. Karmakanda is important to earn, tap the grace of Ishwara through Nityanaimittika karma, through Karma Yoga, whereby you do Phalatyaga, Prasada Buddhi, and then karma is also done for the sake of Ishwara. Since it is prescribed, I do it without expecting anything. So Phalatyaga will give you Prasada Buddhi, and Ishwara Arpana Buddhi also, as to the karma being done is all for Ishwara. Idam namama. It is all for Paramatma. And finally, the grace opens up so that you know that all that arpana that you have done is for whose sake that you are really in the end. Yatha nadyam navi gachantam evam evam kshepanim kshipeti tatastitah bodhayati swayam kshepana kushalam tatha gurava api tatha shrutaya upanishadaha tatastitaha paroksha jnana janakaha tatha margam darshayanti. So just like one standing on the banks guides a person how to row the boat, similarly gurus and shruti upanishads also, remaining on the tata, they guide. They cannot generate aparoksha jnana by themselves unless you play along. So that paroksha jnana janakaha should not be misunderstood that shruti gives only paroksha jnana. Shruti gives aparoksha jnana. You have to think of the example where the 10th man, you are the 10th. Dashamastvamasi. when it is said that you are the 10th man, that time is the shabda there, the shruti, like the shruti shabda or the guru shabda, the person who is passing by who tells you that you are the 10th, does it generate paroksha jnana or aparoksha jnana? It can be paroksha if you think that I still have to search. You don't understand what he said. All he said is that you are the 10th. But if he puts in that kind of a surrounding where he lines up all the 9 people, makes you count, and at the end of the 9th count he says you are the 10th, then it will reveal directly there is nothing to be done. All search is called off in that moment. That itself is aparoksha. So paroksha and aparoksha bheda is to be understood. There are 2 ways to see paroksham. Paroksha, how is it paroksha? When Shruti says Tattvamasi, then we say Shruti says Tattvamasi. That's all we understand. We agree with it. Shruti says Tattvamasi. That is paroksha. But when I understand that Shruti is talking about that Tvam who is me, Aham Brahmasmi, it becomes Manana Siddha. That time itself, if the Chitta Shuddhi is sufficient, then it becomes aparoksha jnana. It can lead to sakshatkara. So for an uttama adhikari, it generates aparoksha jnana. Otherwise, something is pending, in the sense the negation of the koshas, the negation of the vasanas, the negation of the manaha is all pending. Thereby, manana and nididhyasana is recommended for a great duration, even after jnanotpatti, because uttama adhikaris are rare. So paroksha is, Shruti says, so one way to see paroksha is Shruti says Tattvamasi, but not understood as Aham Brahmasmi. That is the paroksham there, and that is possible here because Shruti cannot realize on your behalf. Other way to see paroksham is that it appears as paroksha, but it is not paroksha. It has become a paroksha. So aparoksha jnana is there. However, what happens is that nididhyasana is pending, and then vasana and vasanas are bringing up all the earlier ragadvesha, earlier individuality back, and there is viparita bhavana which comes up again and again. Thereby, what is aparoksha appears to be paroksha. Because Atma can never be paroksha, it was never paroksha. Atma is always aparoksha. But the jnana seems like paroksha because there are obstacles, badha, in the form of vasana. Therefore, vasana kshaya is recommended. So there is a process involved. All the process is finally leading to neti neti. So viparita bhavana is also negated by neti neti prakriya. Finally, you land on aparoksha. Tatha margam darshayanti. Shruti shows the way. You have to walk on your own. Shruti can't walk on your behalf. This is the idea. That's all the paroksha jnana janakaha means. It should not be extended. Bhagwan Vyakyanakara does not definitely mean in that manner. Vidwan Ishvara Anugrihitaya Prajnaya Eva. That Prajna should be earned through Ishvara Anugraha. Therefore, Vidwan who knows this, who has Viveka, Atmanatma Viveka, and then finally gets to the Paroksha Jnana and for Aparoksha Jnana, Ishvara Anugrihitaya Prajnaya Eva ब्रह्मात्मनोः शोधितयोः इति लक्षितया चिन्मात्र वृत्त्या एव तरेत् संसारवारिधिम् इति शेषः. So one should cross over what? Samsara Samsara Sagara, one should cross over, tapping the grace of Bhagavan Ishvara through all the karma kanda, all the shastra vidhis, and then through that prajna, chitta shuddhi, through that tivra buddhi, then one understands the lakshartha when Shruti says Tattvamasi. So Brahmatmanoho Shodhitayoho, through Shuddha, purifying the padarthas, whatever is the target, lakshartha there, that should be landed upon on both sides, and then the equation becomes very clear as to Satchidananda Brahma is one without the second on both sides, and that I am. Chinmatra Vrittya, through the buddhi where the Vritti comes up, removes ajnana and resolves on its own. What remains there is Brahma Rupa, Chinmatra. Chidmatra remains. Chideva Chinmatra. स्वानुभूत्या स्वयं ज्ञात्वा स्वमात्मानमखण्डितं संसिद्धिः सुसुखं तिष्ठेत् निर्विकल्पात्मनात्मनि. So nirvikalpatmana atmani tishtet. One should remain or would remain. Should remain. The vidhilinga can be should as a vidhi. One should remain. But then when this jnanotpatti happens, akhandakara vritti happens without any obstacles finally, then would remain. One, there is nothing else to do. Nothing else, no karna is there. No karma is there. No karta is also there. Sakshi is also not really a sakshi anymore because there is no saksha. Everything has become one. Thereby, nirvikalpatmana atmani swayam tishtet. Swarupataya tishtet. One would remain in one's own swarupa, which is without any vikalpa, and it is ananda swarupa. So, sushtu sukham. Susukham tishtet anandatmana samsiddha. So samsiddha is swayam siddha now. Samyak siddha there is very well in the sense swayam. Now there is no other pramana needed to work there because one is in that form itself, in the form of one's own swarupa form, as in there is no other form. All forms have been negated and one remains the way one is. So that is sakshatkara. And swanubhutya, you see in that word is through swanubhuti, swayam jnatva, knowing oneself, not as an object, but swayam, swayantaya, without any karanas, one knows oneself. Swam atmanam akhanditam, that atma which is one's own swarupa, which is swam, not swasya, but swam, akhanditam, which is not segmented by any triputi division or any kosha sambandha. Swam atmanam akhanditam swayam swanubhutya jnatva, knowing through sakshatkara one's own swarupa samsiddha atmani nirvikalpatmana susukham tishtet iti anvaya spashtavartha. There is nothing more to see there. We saw the meaning in the mula, and so feels the acharya also, vyakyanakara. वेदांत सिद्धांत निरुक्तिरेषा ब्रह्मैव जीवः सकलं जगच्च अखंड रूप स्थितिरेव मोक्षः ब्रह्माद्वितीयं श्रुतयः प्रमाणम्. So in summing up, Vedanta Siddhanta Nirukti, Esha Niruktihi, this statement is of Vedanta Siddhanta. It is the Siddhanta, well established end. Why Siddha? Through Vidvad Anubhava. Sampradayacharya says so. But how Siddha? Anumana has to be used. So Shadlinga, through Shadlinga, all the six indicators of the Shruti, all the indicators, six indicators point toward which tattva, and thereby we know that it is entirely ekavakyata. There is only one purpose to the entire Shruti, to make us realize that there is Advitiya Brahma, there is only Brahma which I am, and there is no second. Everything else is so, which Bhagavan Bhashyakara, Bhagavad-padacharya said in one shloka. In fact, half a shloka. Shlokardena pravakshami yadukta grantha kotibhihi brahma satyam jagan mithya jiyo brahma yonaparaha. So tatparya of crores of granthas is mentioned in half a shloka by Bhagavad-padacharya, who says that brahma satyam jagan mithya. And jiva is brahma, na aparaha. He is not someone who is inferior or some individualized, some alpa jiva. He is purna jiva, who is purna brahma. That is Vedanta Siddhanta, established through Shadlinga analysis of each and every Shruti. You land on the same goal. What is said in the beginning and in the end. Upakrama upasamharo, that is one linga. Upakrama and upasamhara, what is said in the beginning and in the end is same in the Upanishad. Tatparya is known through that one linga now. Then upakrama upasamharo, I forgot the shloka itself. Anyway, I'll say as it comes. I forgot the shloka. So upakrama upasamhara. Then there is abhyasa. Whatever is repeated is the tatparya. Tattvamasi has been repeated 9 times. Navakrutah, asakrit upadeshah. So that is another linga, second linga, not necessarily second. So then anuman, tarka is also used. Upasamharo. Then phala. What is the phala? What is the phala of the shruti? So Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati is the binding, but then Brahmaveda Brahmaiva bhavati, or Anandam, Ananda Swarupa Ananda is talked about there. There is a prapti of that. Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat, and then becomes that because Brahmaveda Brahmaiva bhavati. So Brahmavit, one who knows Brahma, or Brahmaveda, one who knows Brahma, remains as Brahma, not becomes as Brahma, but remains as Brahma. So these are this third linga, phala. So then Anumiti is used to explain as to how the jiva is Brahma. Lot of anumana is used. We have seen here anumanikam, paresham anumanikam. So Shruti uses all of that. And then so these are the 4 lingas. Just give me a moment. I'll try to recall that shloka. Somehow I'm missing the second word. Apurvata. Yeah. Abhyas. Upapatti cha. So ends with upapatti cha. So Medha is lacking, unfortunately. Sorry about that. So Tathparya Upakrama Phalam. So any Apurvata is one. Apurvata is another linga, 5th linga. Apurvata means what? Which cannot be known through any other means. So Apurvata has not been said anywhere else. Brahma itself is not talked about anywhere else. It can be known only in through Shruti. Tattvamasi also nobody talks about. When Tat itself is not known, then Tvam is also misunderstood. So all this is revealed in the Shruti. So Apurvata is another. So Abhyasa Apurvata, Upakrama Upasamharo, Upapatti means Anumana, Phala is what is the end result, that is mentioned. And then there is glorification also. So there is glorification done, whatever is so glorification of 2 types. The Tattva is glorified, and that glorification can be true or can be just glorification without being true. Arthavada. So Arthavada means it is, if it is true, well and good, it is just praised the way it is. The other way is Ninda Rupa is also possible. Second is that it is not really true, but then to get the sadhaka interested, there is some praise done. As in Ananta Sukha, you will have that kind of a bhoga. All this is mentioned, but that is figurative, because objectifiable Ananda cannot be your own Swarupa Ananda. It is the manifestation of your Swarupa Ananda, but it is not the way it is mentioned that I will have all bhoga. Need not be true. Maybe Siddhi, but need not be true. That kind of a glorification is possible, so that one comes to the path, then once you know your own Swarupa, it is you, Ananda Swarupa, then there is no hankering for objectifiable Sukha also. So it drops off during the journey itself, that drops off once there is enough clarity. But to get someone attracted, these kind of things are talked about. That is one glorification, which is one type of glorification. Other is another Ninda Rupa. Ninda Rupa in the sense the opposite is Nindita. Opposite is criticized. So once opposite is criticized, it is not for Nahi Ninda Nyaya is used, whereby by opposite being criticized, the subject matter becomes praised. So that's another way that the Shruti uses this Arthavada. Okay, so anyway, I don't remember the shloka, my mind is stuck there, so that's why the gap. Anyway, we'll move on. I've talked about all the 6 lingas. So this is the Tatparya. The Tatparya of the Shruti is identified through the Shadlingas. So Anubhutya Swayam Nyatva Swam Atmanam Akhanditam Samsya Susuktam Tishte Nirvikalpatmana Atmani. That was the earlier shloka, and now Vedanta Siddhanta Nirukti Esha Brahmaiva Jivaha Sakalam Jagatcha. So what is that Tatparya? Vedanta Siddhanta is established through the Tatparya Shadlingas, Tatparya Lingas, and then what is that? Esha. This is the Nirukti. What is the statement of the Shruti which is well established through analysis, which has gone through analysis of the Shadlinga? It is Brahma eva Jivaha. Jivaha is no one else but Brahma, Parabrahma eva. And Sakalam Jagatcha. What is this Jagat? This Jagat is also Brahma. It is an appearance of Brahma, but Jiva is not an appearance of Brahma. The appearance wise, individuality is an appearance, but Jiva is Purna. Jagat is an appearance, and through Bhada Samanadikaran, Jagatcha, Sakalam Jagat, the entire Jagat with all its parts is nothing but manifestation of the same Brahma. It is an appearance, it is Mithya, Nama Rupa is Mithya, then Asti Bhati Priyam is Satya, which is Brahma, which is Jiva, which is me, my own Swarupa. And Akhanda Rupa Sitireva Mokshaha. What is Moksha then? Remaining as this Akhanda Brahma, Akhanda Rupa, Purna Akhanda Rupa Brahma, that Nishtha in that, remaining that Brahma without getting segmented by the earlier Viparita Bhavana itself is Moksha. And what is this Brahma? It is Advitiya Brahma. It is not any Brahma with Guna. It is Nirguna Advitiya Brahma. Who says so? Shruti. Shrutis are Pramana. Shrutayaha Pramanam. Tatra Tasmin Vishe Brahma Advitiyam Ityetismin Vishaye Shrutayaha Pramanam Bhavati. Shrutis mantras are Pramana. They say this, and Vedanta Siddhanta is established through the Tatparya Linga analysis. Vedanta hi siddha ya antaha nirnayaha through Tatparya Linga. Tasya niruktihi. What is nirukti? Tajjanaka sankuchata shabdaha. That ekavakyata that one lands on. What is the Tatparya of the Shruti? What is the Shruti committed towards? Entire Shruti, all the Vedantas, there are a lot of stories also. That is all also, it may be Anuvada of something which has happened, through other Shastras, or it may be just a glorification. We are not interested to know historically as to when was Yajnavalkya there. Who was this Nachiketa really? Who is the questioner in Kenopanishad? This is all research topic, but that brings you nothing. We lose time with that. What is the purpose of the Shruti? What is the Tatparya? That's where we have to have our focus, not in Anya Vishaya. Anya Vacha Vimunchata, says the Shruti herself. Mundaka Shruti says that you give up the other talk, remain with the Tatparya of the Shruti. Vedanta Tatparya becomes clear more and more we study, it becomes more and more clear. We see that in all Upanishads the same idea is expressed in various words, sometimes in similar words, sometimes in various ways, through various prakriyas. The same Tatparya, same Tattva is revealed, that Brahma, Jiva is Brahma. So Tajjanaka Sankuchita Shabdaha, that Siddha Anta Janaka, that Moksha Advaita Tattva Janaka Sankuchita Shabda, it is just a short sentence. Shabda there, it can be seen as sentence there. This short set of words, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, all these words are just Mahavakyas, are very short. Esha Jivaha. Jivaha, what is that? Esha, Esha Niruktihi. Strilinga, this Nirukti. What is that statement? Jivaha Brahma eva. Sakalam Jagatcha Brahma eva. Jiva is Brahma. This Jagat is also Brahma. Brahma is not limited to Jagat or Jiva. Brahma is all this and more. Not a single Jiva, not two Jivas, not multiple Jivas, only Jivas. Everything that is objectifiable and beyond is all Brahma. Moksha, what is moksha then? Akhanda Rupa Stitireva Moksha. Brahma Swarupena Avasthanam Ityartha. Remaining as Brahma, that itself is moksha. Brahma is Advitiya, Brahma Advitiyam, Tatra Pramanam Shrutaya. Tasmin Vishaye Pramanam Shrutaya. Shrutinam Bahutvyaphi Sarvabhirapi Janishyamana Pramayaha Ekatvat Pramanam Ityekavachanam. Why Pramanam has been said in as a singular when Shrutayaha is in plural? Because although Shrutis are many, their Tatparya is singular. Through Shadlinga, when you analyze all the Shrutis, you land on only single Tatparya, which is Advitiya Brahma. Therefore, Ekatvat, due to Ekavakyata of all Shrutis, singular Pramanam has been used. Iti Ekavachanam. Vedantana yah Siddhantaha Niranitartha. Siddhanta is Niranitartha, well established Manana Siddhartha. Siddhanta Shabdasya tat Shastra Siddhartha Rupataya Paraihi Vyakrtatvat Tasya Niruktihi Nirnaya Janaka Sankuchita Shabdaha Nirvachanam Ityartaha. So it's a statement of Shruti, because there are a lot of discussions as to what is the Tatparya of the Shruti. You have to analyze. So it's a Mahavakya, which is a short form. It's not a short form, short statement, but short form in the sense the equation has to be expanded. It has to be understood on both sides. There has to be expansion of the Tat and Tvam Padartha. Thereby that short sentence means a lot. And the other is Paraihi Vyakritatva Tatshastra Siddhartha Rupataya. There are many there are many sects which have come up. They discuss all this in their own ways. Therefore there is Bhashya, there is Tika to refute all this in the Sampradaya. Thereby Tatshastra Siddhartha Rupataya Paraihi Vyakritatva. Since it has been explained in various ways by various people in various so-called Sampradayas who have broken away from the tradition and started their own traditions. Therefore, this Tatparya, Linga analysis has to be done. Tasya Niruktihi Nirnaya Janaka Sankuchita Shabdaha. So that which generates, it need not be that Mahavakya, but any statement which makes that idea clear as to what is the goal of the Shruti, that Nirvachanam Vartha. So that Shabda can be seen as the meaning of Niruktihi here. Tattvamasi Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma Brahmaivedam Vishwam Ekameva Advityam Ityadi Shrutaya. Finally, they can be put up in these Mahavakya forms in the Shruti. All this, you are that, all this Brahma, all this is nothing but Brahma. This world is also, this universe is nothing but Brahma. Ekameva Advityam, it is one without a possibility of second. Ityadi Shrutaya, such Shruti statements, mantras are the Niruktihi. Vedanta Siddhanta Nirukti. Iti Guru Vachana Shruti Pramana Paramavagamya Satatva आत्मयुक्त्या प्रशमितकर्ण समाहितात्मा क्वचिदचलाकृतिरात्मनि आत्मनिष्ठितो भूत. Sorry, I'll read it again. Little difficult words to sum up, especially after prose reading. इति गुरुवचन श्रुति प्रमाणात् परमवगम्य सतत्वमात्मयुक्त्या प्रशमितकर्ण समाहितात्मा क्वचिदचलाकृतिरात्मनिष्ठितो भूत. So abhut, that is the verb there. आत्मनिष्ठितः अभूत. कर्तरि प्रयोग, कर्तरि त. Atmanishthitah is the person who is a shishya, who has been asking questions and who has been listening and analyzing thoroughly whatever has been taught by the Guru. Manana has been done. Shravana and Manana go together. Now he needs some space for staying alone and following Nishtha, Nididhyasana. So Kvachid Achalakritihi, remaining without any of these vrittis, other vrittis. Shravana, Manana is fine, but then he has to focus there whether I have understood right that Manana that he has done, it should help the Shishya to remove the Viparita Bhavana and stay in Atma, Brahmatma Tattva. That Nishtha can be known when one is alone, it can be known. Therefore, Kvachid, somewhere for some time, good duration, one remains alone and practices this Nididhyasana in Ekanta. Thereby Atmanishtita Abhut, this Shishya became Atmanishtita. He got this Atmanishtha by thinking about whatever has been taught by Guru and the Shruti Vachana. So, iti Guru Vachana Shruti Pramanat, not by oneself. One can go in solitude and work on Nishtha, Atma Nishtha, only when one has understood the Tattva as revealed by the Shruti and taught by the Guru. So, Guru Vachana Shruti Pramanat, Param Avagamya, knowing this Paramatma, Paramatma Tattva, which is this Swayam, Swasya Swarupam, knowing one's own Swarupa, Satatvam Atmayuktya, that Nityatvam, that Satchidananda Vastu, which is Brahma, which is me, Atmayuktya, through one's own analysis, not by, analysis, some analysis is given by the Shruti, some taught by the Acharya, but you can use any yukti which is non-contradictory to Shruti and which lands you in that Shruti. Shruti Siddhartha. Vedanta Siddhanta. So Vedanta Siddhanta Niruktihi, whatever lands you there, that should be used by oneself, otherwise we just repeat what has been said without understanding. It shouldn't be so. Therefore, Atma Yuktya has been mentioned there. One has to use manana and one's own thinking, questioning of the Tattva and answering through the teaching which is recalled at that moment. Then that manana siddhartha one can remain in, which is one's own Swarupa. So Atma Yuktya, one remains there. And it also Atma Yukta can also mean that one remains there when everything else drops off, as though there is a union. We'll see more in the Tika. And who is this person? This person is Shishya Prashamita Karanaha, whose Karanas, Indriyas, all the Karanas are Prashamita, Prakarshana Shamita. There is Shama. They are very well controlled. And Samahita Atmas, Antakarana also, not only the so Prashamita Karana can be seen as Dhamma and Samahita Atma can be seen as Shama, culmination of that. Samahita Atma can also mean the Antakarana is resolved and there is Samadhi. So it goes all the way. These are all just words which will help us recall what is the What is the teaching? What is the adhikaritvam? Where should we remain in the end, and how do we land there? So all that is just recalled by sample words. Kvachid achalakrutihi, without any movement in the antakarana, one remains. So atmanishtitaha abhut, he became this shishya. Iti purvam vistara sangraha rupena kathitat guruvachanat shruti pramanat. Shrutah pramanani yasya guruvachanasya tas shruti pramanam tasmat. So Shruti Pramana has been said, which is in Samanadikaranam with Shruti Pramana, in Samanadikaranam with Guru Vachana. So Guru Vachana itself is Shruti Pramana. How so? Because Shruti is Pramana for which Guru Vachana? The teaching of the Guru is in keeping with Shruti as Pramana. It is never away from that. That Tatparya Linga is always in the mind of the Acharya, and then although the shloka is not in the mind, the artha is in the mind, tatparya, ekavakyata is in the mind, and thereby the sampradaya teaching is such that anything can be traced back to the Shruti. It is paraphrasing of the Shruti. Some examples may be used, but it is paraphrasing of the idea of the Shruti. So when Bhagavad-padacharya in his Bhashya, Bhagavan Bhashyakara says something, if we cannot trace it, the Shraddha is such that it is all Shruti. Shruti is Pramana. So it becomes Bahuri, the word, as Shrutayaha Pramanani Yasya Guru Vachanasya Tad Guru Vachanam Shruti Pramanam Tasmat Shruti Pramanat Shastram Yukti Deshikukti Pramanam Chanta Siddha Swanubhuti Pramanam, which was said earlier as Swanubhuti. Swanubhava becomes Pramana only after Shastra, Yukti and Deshikokti are taken as Pramana. Through that, whatever one has understood, finally it leads to Sakshatkara, and that Sakshatkara becomes Antasiddha, Swanubhuti becomes Pramana. Ityatra Shastrasya Prutak Kirtanat Shruti Rupa Pramanad iti vartha. Otherwise, it can be taken as two separate words as Shastra, Yukti and Deshikokti, all three are said to be Pramana. Therefore, Shastra can be taken as one Pramana and Deshikokti as another Pramana. Although it is not a separate Pramana, it is one with Shraddha can say that my Guru says so, therefore I agree. I don't need to trace back some Shruti or bring back Shruti and explain this to anyone. I am convinced that my Guru says this, therefore it is Pramana. And since Shruti is also Pramana, not any Guru will work, because if it is contradictory to Shruti, if you cannot find in the Shruti, it's okay. But if it is contradictory to Shruti, then it has questionable. If it is not contradictory to Shruti, if Guru says something, it is in Shishya's interest, one follows, thereby Deshikokti or Gurukti is Pramana, a separate one. Therefore, it need not be in Samanadikaran. This is a separate interpretation there. Atmayuktya Shrutyachara Upadishtartham Mananena Ityartaha. So Atmayuktya is whatever manana is possible using the teaching of the Acharya and Shruti, that should be used, and one should use it on one's own, not just parrot it. That is the idea. So manana is thinking, questioning each and every aspect, and questioning as to not as whether it is right, whether I have understood right. That is the questioning. People misunderstand questioning as everything should be questioned, means you have to start questioning the Acharya as well as the teaching. No, the questioning is whether I have understood it right. When the question does not lead to an answer which is apparently contradictory, then we have to have that Shraddha, that Shruti is saying something which I have not understood, not that Shruti is saying something wrong. So that questioning mind itself has to be questioned as to what is the tatparya of questioning. Is it to understand or to disprove or to get PhDs? This is the idea here, as Atmayuktya means Shrutyachara Upadishtartham Manana, Artha Manana. The teaching which has been made by the Shruti, what is revealed and what is taught by the Acharya, that has to be understood. The Tatparya, the end goal, has to be understood, and that understanding of mine has to be questioned so that I get more and more clarity. Param satatvam is param is Brahma, paramartha tattvam avagamya prashamitak karanah prakarshena shamitani karanani chakshuradini bahyani yena saha prashamitak karanah. So Bahuri, the person who has controlled all his external or sense organs, yadva atma yuktya yuktihi yogaha. Yukti is yoga, so union. Yuj dhatu with tin pratyaya, so that's another interpretation we saw during the Mula itself. Vritti nirodha atmanah manasah vritti nirodhina samadhina, through samadhi, which is chitta vritti nirodha, through that is the other meaning of atma yukti. Through atma yukti means through atma yuktya, through samadhi vritti nirodha karanani bahyani prakarshena shamitani iti suvacham. So through that, once one goes to samadhi, then all the indriyas are also resolved. It is suvacham. Samyagahita brahmani stapita atma antakarana yena yasya iti va. So yena, by whom or for whom, prakarsh antakarana, atma is antakarana, is samahita. Samahita means samyak ahita. What is samyak ahita? Very well stapitaha, very well placed in. This antakarana is very well placed by whom? Where? Brahmani, in Brahmatma. By whom? By effort, or becomes placed as though through some process of Shravana Marana Nidhyasana, it automatically remains in Brahmatma. Therefore, yasya iti va manovritti nirodhena chakshuradyupashame api na atmanishta atha uktam samahitatmeti. If manovritti nirodha has been talked about, then chakshuradyupashame api, even if the sense organs are controlled, atmanishta is not possible, because one can remain in the neutral zone, like yogis who withdraw the sense organs, but through vritti nirodha they just remain there. It is not raised in Brahmatma. The object of meditation is not the Mahavakya, therefore the resolution is not in Brahmatma, but the resolution is in whatever their object of meditation is, which is really objectified. We don't objectify. The object of meditation for us is the Mahavakya, which is not really meditation per se. It is dhyana, which is jai chintane. So through inquiry into the Mahavakya, once you are analyzing that what Brahma has been taught in the Shruti as Jagat Karana, that I am, and when the implied meaning is inquired into, then that implied meaning landed upon is you. Thereby everything gets resolved and you remain resolved, as in you, as in the antakarana resolves into one's own swarupa, which is Brahma, and I remain as Brahma. Thereby brahmani stapita antakaranam atma yasya. So atmanishta has to be mentioned separately, otherwise one may become a yogi of the Dvaita without knowing the Advaita Tattva. Therefore atmanishta, by itself there cannot be atmanishta. Atha uktam samahita atma. Although it is atmanishta only, but it is misunderstood. Jnanena moksha. Unless you know, you will come out of samadhi also as an ajnani. You go in as a ajnani, you come out as an ajnani. You go in as a jnani, then alone you can remain as a jnani after the samadhi also. The samadhi will just wash away vasanas. Kvachid ekanta pradeshe achalakritihi parvatavad aprakampyaha. Remaining stiraha, like a mountain which does not move. Achalaha, that is achalaha, achalakritihi, remaining in ekanta, in some solitary place. Parvatavad aprakampyaha atmanishtitaha brahmanishta abhut. Atmanishtita brahmanishta abhut. He became brahmanishta. Atmanistitaha atmanishtitaha jatatmanishta iti va. Otherwise atmanishta is born for him. This is the idea, and thereby the shishya became a brahmajnani. कंचित कालम समाधाय परे ब्रह्मणि मानसम व्युत्थाय परमानंदाद idam vachanam abravit. Then this shishya kvachit kalam samadhaya, remaining in that brahma rupa samadhi for some time, pare brahmani manasam samadhaya. So remaining in that samadhi means the pare brahmani manasam samadhaya, placing that mind or resolving that mind of his in brahmatma tattva for a while. Vyuthaya, having come out of that, prabuddha san, having woken up, so to say, or Vyuthaya means having gotten out of that samadhi, Paramanandad idam. So Vyuthaya Paramananda, that he had this bliss. Therefore, Paramanandad idam vachanam abravit, or Paramanandad can be due to that. Due to that, Paramananda itself, idam vachanam abravit. So it can become the hetu also, that Ananda itself makes him express this, that I know now, not as an object, but I know my own Swarupa now as Ananda Swarupa. Whatever the Shruti and Guru has taught, that is Satas Siddha now, I have had Sakshatkara. So idam vachanam abravit. Then follows whatever is said now in the next few shlokas is these are the words of the Shishya. Like in Kena Upanishad also, when the Acharya says that if you are objectifying it, Vijñātam, if you say Vijñātam, then na jñātam, you have not known this, you are still trying to objectify yourself. It appears as though you have got this knowledge. So when I ask you, do you know? You say, yes, Vijñātam. Vijñātam is Visheshana Jñātam. That Visheshana, if you know, then that Visheshana also has to be dropped off. It is Nirguna Brahma, which cannot have any Visheshana. You cannot have any objectifiability. You cannot be objectified, and you have done that, it appears. So therefore he says, some manana is pending. You go to a solitary place. This is all reading between the lines through the Bhashya. In Kena Upanishad says that you need, so then he says, now I know. He spends time, and then he does not say that I know it well. I know, that's all he says. So when you say you know it well, then you have qualified it in some manner. So it shows some kind of an objectification. And then through his own words he explains. Similarly here, now we can quickly go through this because all these words have been used, but they are summed up, put together in a different manner by the Shishya, because through his own words he is expressing the same teaching. Buddhir vinashta galita pravrittihi brahmatmanorekataya adhigatya idan na jane anidan na jane kimva kiyadva sukamasya param. So buddhi vinashta. Buddhi vinashta means not that the buddhi is destroyed completely, that in that sense, manonasha the way we say, but it is not seen as separate. All the Dvaita buddhi is gone. Galita pravritti, so all the pravritti, the seeking, the seeking of the seeker drops off. So Galita pravritti galita. Brahmatmano ekataya adhigatya, through the understanding of Brahma and Atma as one, that Brahma and me as one. Idam na jane, I don't know anything as this. I can't objectify anything anymore because everything has become Atma for me. Yatratvasya sarvam atmaya bhut. So kena kam pashyet. So how will he know idam? Then anidam, nothing other than this also he knows, because he cannot categorize this and not this anymore. Na jane. Kim va kiyadva sukamasya param. And then says that this Ananda Swarupa Sukham Asya Param Kim va kiyadva, not even a little over, I can't see anything beyond this Swarupa Sukha. There is nothing else. These are the words of the Shishya after Sakshatkara. Brahmatmanoho ekataya adhigatya sakshatkarena buddhi vinashta pravrittihi galita idam pratyakshagatam na jane. Whatever is known through pratyaksha pramana, I don't accept as real anymore. This is all mithya, na jane, anidamapi Parokshamapi na jane. If someone talks about anidam means swarga also, which I cannot. So we can take it as swarga, anidam, not this. You cannot say that. Shruti says or someone else says that no, this there is Vaikuntha, there is Kailasa, there is Swarga, there is Pitraloka. Let it be. I don't know it. All that I don't know it because there is nothing other than this Atma Tattva that I am, and I am in that Sukha Swarupa. I don't need to know anything else. I don't care for Swarga anymore. That Swarga, seeking for Swarga, seeking for even Sukha elsewhere in Vishaya is not needed because I am Purna the way I am. Without the Sharira, without the association with any of the koshas, I am Ananda Swarupa. Purvam tatha vibhaga asit purovarti pratyaksham aparam aparoksham iti. Earlier, before Jnanotpatti, there was division as this, which I see, and then there is something which is unseen somewhere else, some other country, some other loka. All this is there, unseen. So what is known through pratyaksha and what is known through someone else telling me that such a loka exists, someone or some shruti telling you, or some like a Kupa Manduka I knew only that well, and then something beyond that well, someone tells me, so I believe, yes, there's Apta Ukti, so someone tells me that there is a world beyond this well. The frog says that, yes, I agree, maybe it is there because I trust you. All that is no longer there because I don't consider this limited world of mine as real, let alone the other world that you talk about, other lokas which are also limited. Idanim tatha nasti iti kathanam. Now it is no longer so like earlier. There is no division that this and some other world or any such division. Kim va kiyadva sukham asya param kim kiyadva sukham. There is whatever little sukha that you talk about, beyond this, all that is antargata in this infinite sukha of mine. Etavantam kalam anubhutam akhandam sukham iti tatra kalata deshata vastutascha aparichinnatvam kathayati. So kim va kiyadva indicate the three types of divisions and thereby the division of sukha in kala, in desha, or as vastu. No such division is possible. So aparichinnatvam kathayati. You have seen all these words. So this is just summing up. Idam na jane api anidam na jane ityanena vastuta parichheda nasti ityuktam. Really there is no division in Ananda. There are no gradations in Ananda also is mentioned here. Kim va kiyadva sukhamasya paramiti kalata deshatascha sa nasti ityuktam. So he is just summing up by saying that this sukha is not limited in time or by space. It will be there forever and everywhere. That is the Sukhanubhava. Okay, different meter here. Give me a moment, trying to recall the meter to chant this, or I'll just read it. वाचा वक्तुम् अशक्यमेव मनसा मन्तुम् न वा शक्यते स्वानन्दामृतपूरपूरितः परब्रह्माम्बुधेर्वैभवम् अम्भोराशिविशीर्णवार्षिकः शिलाभावं भजन्ते मनः यस्यांशांशाशलवे विलीनमधुनानन्दात्मना निर्वृतम्. A little difficult to chant for me. Vacha vaktum ashakyam manasa mantum nava shakyate. So yato vacha nivartante aprapya manasa sa is paraphrased by the Shishya through his own words. Same meaning, that it is not a literal meaning of any word. It is an implied meaning, my swarupa, and it cannot be meditated upon through the mind also directly. It is not an object of meditation either. Swanandamrita pura purita parabrahmambu ambudhehe vaibhavam. This vaibhava of this the samudra of Brahma, the vast ocean of Brahma, which is the ocean of bliss really. What is it? This Swanandamrita, it is the Amrita, nectar of bliss. Amrita Pura Purita, and that nectar of bliss itself is filling up the ocean. What to talk about its vast expanse, its magnificence? What can that Vaibhava, how can I express it? It cannot be expressed through words. It cannot, because it is my own Swarupa, and it cannot be even objectify the mind. Ambho Rashi Vishirna Varshika Shilabhavam Bhajante Manah. The mind, Ambho Rashi Vishirna Varshika Shilabhavam. See, there is no tika on this. Very clearly expressed words of what has been explained in various shlokas. She has become one with it. Ambho Rashi Vishirna Varshika Shilabhavam. Varshika Shila is commented upon, only that word, because everything else is just paraphrasing. Varshopalastu Karaka Ityamaraha. So Amara Kosha says that it's a hailstone. Varshopalastu Karaka Ityamaraha. Varshika Shila is that Bhajante Manaha. The mind is partaking of that. The hailstone, it has become that part of that hail. It has become one with that bliss. Thereby, whatever this yasya anshamshalave vilinam adhuna anandatmana nirvrutam, what has been attained now, yasya ansha. So even when nothing else is there, what will be there in the antakarana? There will be ananda vritti alone. So one that has become one, the Brahma Rupa Samadhi or Brahma Rupa Nishta, Brahma Nishta, for one who is Brahma Nishta, Brahmani Nishta Yasya, he has become one with that. He is merged in that ocean. Then there is no segmentation in that ocean. For a moment it may feel that the river which has merged with the ocean is remaining a little separate, but then it will get completely merged. Even when it is merged in one part of the ocean, it becomes one with the complete ocean. So I am giving the bhavartha there. Ambho Rashi Vishirna Varshika Shilabhavam Bhajante Manah Bhajante Yasya Anshamshalave. Anshamsa, even merging in a part of that ocean which is me. I have merged. Merging is figurative there. Vilinam Adhuna, I have completely dissolved myself into that ocean, and then even if I merge in a little part of that ocean, I become one with that ocean. Vilinam Adhuna Anandatmana Nirvrutam. I remain as that Anandatma. Kvagatam kenava nitam kutralinam idam jagat. Adhunaiva maya drishtam nasti kim mahad adbhutam. So kvagatam kenava nitam. Kutralinam idam jagat. So idam jagat, kvagatam, where did this jagat go? Which was there before Jnanotpatti, where did it go? Adhunaya maya drishtam nasti kenava nita kutrava nitam. Where did it go? Or who carried it elsewhere? Because this jagat is no longer there, separately existent from this swarupa of mine. Thereby, kutralinam, where did it resolve? Who carried it away? Where did it go? All these questions are just poetic expressions of saying that the prapancha does not appear as separately existent, but it is one with me. It is my own appearance. Adhuna eva maya drishtam nasti kim mahadadbhutam. And it was seen. Adhuna eva maya drishtam. Adhuna means just before this jnana. It was seen now. Where did it go? Mahadadbhutam. What a wonder it is. It is such a wonder that it is no longer nasti. It is no longer there. It is not separate. Sarvam khalvidam brahma. Kim heyam, kim heyam, kim upadeyam, kim anyat, kim vilakshanam, akhandananda piyusha purno brahma maharanave. So kim heyam, what has to be given up? Kim upadeyam, what has to be picked up? Kim vilakshanam, what is different now? Everything is one. एकमेव अद्वितीयम् अखंडानंद पीयूष पूर्ण. It is all what I said earlier is Amborashi Vishirna, this Swanandamrita Pura Purita Parabrahma Ambudhi. So Akhandananda Piyusha Purnaha, it is full of that nectar of Advaita Tattva, Advaita Amrita, Brahma Maharnave. In that Brahma Maharnava, in that Brahma Sagarvat Brahma, like the Samsara Sagara what was there earlier, now it is like Brahma Sagara. There is nothing other than Brahma. Everything has become one there. So what else is there in this Brahma Samudra? Samudram iva, Maharnava iva, Maharnavam iva. न किंचिदत्र पश्यामि न शृणोमि न वेद्म्यहम् स्वात्मानमैव सदानंद रूपेणास्मि विलक्षणः. So न किंचिदत्र पश्यामि, so केनकं पश्येत्, that is paraphrase here. I don't see anything else, I don't see, I don't hear anything else, I don't किंचित् न वेद्मि, अहम किंचित् न वेद्मि, I don't know anything else. स्वात्मना एव सदानंद रूपेण अस्मि विलक्षणः, I am there. Vilakshanaha, Vilakshana is commented upon by saying Panchakosha Vilakshana ityartha. I remain separate from the koshas without any association. These koshas are also mere appearance, Nama Rupatmaka, and Swatmana eva Sadananda Rupena Swatmana Aham Asmi. I remain as this Ananda Rupatma. We'll stop here. We'll look at more of the Shishya's words in the next partha. We'll stop here at 486. Sarvedan Siddhanta Gocharantam Gocharam. Sorry, I forgot the shloka itself. The depth of, today I've been forgetting a lot of shlokas. So Sarvedan Siddhanta Gocharantam Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham Om Tat Sat. Namaste. I'll see you in the next partha.